welcome back. We're moving into our final segment for today, and we're going to be talking about the efforts of the Ariel Rosado Foundation. And joining us for this conversation, we have the Marketing and Admissions Director from Galen University, Monica Chun. We have the Principal of Buttonwood Bay Nazarene Primary School, Amelia Bencomo. And we also have the President of the Ariel Rosado Foundation, Alvaro Rosado.
Good morning
and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having us.
Yes.
Now, Alvaro, let's start by talking a little bit about the work that the foundation continues to do.
Okay, well, the foundation was established in 2012 in memory of Ariel Rosado, who was a cyclist and a budding attorney. The main purpose of the foundation was to provide educational and sporting opportunities for needy and deserving Belizean youth. We have been working at this for the last 5 years. We're entering our fifth year now from 2012. And we believe that we have settled down. I will give you some statistics afterwards, but we believe we have settled down. But I just want to mention who the board of directors to start with. I am the president. Hopefully will be replaced soon by another member of the board, if we can work that out fast. The secretary is Mr. Salvador Awe. The treasurer is Mr. Winston Swift. And we have 6 trustees. They are Ms. Wendy Assad, Dr. Sylvia Catus, Mr. Raymond Robinson, Dr. Dorla Rosado, Ms. Sherry Gabriel, and I don't remember the last one right now. That's very embarrassing.
That's all right. It's the pressure of TV. Yes.
Sorry, she is the newest one, Ms. Patricia Bennett. Those are the trustees.
That's why you could have
And we have 2 board members who are active in the discussions regularly. Those are Mr. Kenrick Richards and Ms. Bennett, as I mentioned just now, as one of the trustees. Our auditors are Swift and Associates. They have been auditing our accounts since we began in 2012, and they've been doing this on a pro bono basis. So this is the board that runs the organization.
Yeah.
We have been providing scholarships in various categories, and at the primary school level, we offer scholarships for students to learn to sail under the auspices of the Sailing Association. We offer secondary school scholarships, which cover the cost of tuition and books, and we offer scholarships in collaboration with Galen University, scholarships to Galen University to do bachelor's degrees. Galen, I must mention, is one of our biggest sponsors and supporters to date. In terms of quantum, giving us 2 scholarships is quite a large, big deal there. To date, we have given out 66 scholarships in all. These are 35 scholarships for primary school students to sail, 27 for high school scholarships, and 4 to Galen. From the scholarship recipients, 4 have graduated so far. 3 from high school and 2 from Galen. Sorry, 5 have graduated so far. 3 from high school and 2 from Galen. And currently we have 10 on sailing scholarships, 21 at high school scholarships, and 2 at Galen University. And just to give an idea of across the board, we have from Corozal in the north, we have 1 student at Corozal Community College, we have 1 student at Ecumenical in Stan Creek, 3 students at EP York, 4 at Nazarene High School, 1 at Palote, 1 at SCA, 4 at Sacred Heart College in Cayo, and 4 at Wesley. And our biggest graduating class to date will be this year, where we expect to have 8 students graduating from the program.
4 years after your
4 years after we started. This is the first crop of students we got.
Let me just take a pause here, because I want to bring in the ladies into the conversation, and especially get Monica in terms of Galen's partnership. As Alvaro mentioned, you know, every time he's here, he speaks about this partnership with Galen. Why is it something that the institution found it worthwhile to be able to partner with, and maintained a relationship over the years?
Well, definitely it coincides with what we have going with our scholarship program.
Yeah.
We've had over, I would say, over 50 students in our program at any given point in time. And it complements really what we're doing at Galen in one, promoting students to further their education in higher education. And it complements again our academic excellence scholarship program that we have and the athletic side of it. Since the Ariel Rosado's scholarships are really geared towards offering students who come from needy backgrounds, so that they could actually get these opportunities to further their education at Galen.
And looking at the criteria for the people who receive your scholarships, what is the target population?
Specifically for the Ariel Rosado's scholarships, those are selected by the foundation themselves. And our major requirement would only be that they meet our academic standards.
Yeah.
And meeting a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.0, and beyond that, it's all on the foundation to determine who would be getting these scholarships from across the country as well.
Yes. And then speaking to,
and sorry, and Amelia, let's talk about the impact that it has had at the Pottonwood Bay Nazarene.
Well, first of all, what Mr. Rosado has mentioned before, when he invited me to come to this talk show, was that, he said, I know you are a very aggressive principal. And what he means by that is that I really advocate for children who are in need. And so the impact that it causes is very positive, because it gives students who are underprivileged a better opportunity to really further their education from primary to secondary. That's a big step, a big leap that they take. And so going into high school, we have seen, we normally do an individual assessment of our students. So we ask, we would fill out their application forms for them and send it into the foundation for them to decide what is it that they're going to do. So it does play a big role, our involvement as well, to help these students to get into a high school.
How many students have benefited?
From the time that I've been at the primary school as principal, we have helped four children to get into the scholarship. 4 of them have benefited. And 2 of these children are doing very well. One is at Palote High School. She's on honor roll. And the other one is at SCA. And we have one at Edward P. York and one at Nazarene High School. And I really want to big up these students, because they're all female students. And I believe that having the help from the Ariel Foundation, Ariel Rosado's foundation, has given them the opportunity to really venture into secondary education. I believe that if it wasn't for the foundation, they would have met a lot of challenges on the way.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the fundraising efforts that you continue to undertake.
Well, we have had the support of all the media houses, Channel 5 especially, which has been a big help in our getting the message out. We have had a lot of donations from corporations. As I said, Galen gives us a big donation in terms of scholarships. And we have corporate sponsors. Specifically, we have had corporate sponsors from Belize Bank International and from SMART. These have been consistently supporting us over the years. We have had support from the Belize City Council in the past. Most recently, and I would like to acknowledge with gratitude, a promise for assistance from BL. So we have the corporate sponsorship. We also have individuals who contribute to the foundation. Will send in a check here and there, or call us to pick up some money, and so on. And then we have what we have recently introduced, which is the dedicated scholarships. And as I mentioned before, the foundation was formed to celebrate the life and to commemorate the life of Ariel Rosado. And we have found this to be an excellent way of remembering somebody that has gone from our family. And we encourage others to do it as well. And to date, we have people who have dedicated scholarships to loved ones. The first one to do so was Mr. Dennis Barrow, senior counsel from Barrow and Company, who has a dedicated scholarship to his parents, Joyce and Arthur Barrow. Then we have a memorial scholarship for Raymond Oxelou, who was an icon in Keekarka, one of the pioneers in the tourism industry. And most recently, we have a memorial scholarship for Clive Alexander Tucker, who was one of the business magnates in Belize, affiliated with the Sancas Group. So we have 3 dedicated scholarships, memorial scholarships. We also have others who have dedicated scholarships, but these are not memorial scholarships, just firms that have decided to sponsor scholarships.
So you make the selection for the scholarships, but they provide it,
Right. And we monitor, we select, and we report to the sponsors as to the progress of their scholars. And if I may just run down that list, there are 13 scholarships that are dedicated so far. As I mentioned before, the Arthur and Joyce Barrow Memorial Scholarship, Belize Bank International Scholarship, Clive Alexander Tucker Memorial Scholarship, Dr. Betty Flincham, who has been a regular visitor to Belize and one of the biggest contributors to tertiary education in Belize, has just established a dedicated scholarship. Rosado and Erdulfo Nunes of ICB fame, they have a dedicated scholarship. Fulltech has a dedicated scholarship. Infotel International has a dedicated scholarship. Doreen and Lewis Humphreys, Ray Axelou Memorial, Sharon and Chester Walker, SMART Scholarship. Unicomera has provided a dedicated scholarship, and Wet Lizard from the Tourism Village have provided dedicated scholarships. And I would like to make a special push for dedicated scholarships from the community, both from memorial scholarships to remember a loved one, or from the community to give back to the community that has served you so well.
And what it really does is it takes part of the challenge away in terms of identifying the right person for the scholarship, because the foundation does offer that.
Which we do.
And monitor.
And we
how
monitor
they're doing,
as well. The dedicated scholarships cost $1,200 a year. So it's not a hell of a lot of money, but you know that you are providing all the books and all the fees for that student to attend for 4 years. 2 of our dedicated scholars will be graduating this year, and we expect that the sponsors will renew the scholarships. But I would like to go back to the primary school thing with Ms. Bencomo. Mrs. Bencomo has been one of the most aggressive principals, as I said. Even when I forget that we're supposed to be starting to advertise, she calls me and says, when are the forms coming out? When are we going to get these?
She looks out for her students.
And not only that, she gets the form and she brings them back herself. And she has been very, very good at getting her students in and getting them in. Of the 37 scholarships we have given, her school has gotten 4, which is just over 10%. So that's a large amount out of the total amount that we've given so far. The basis for the scholarship is need. And I think Ms. Chun mentioned that, and I'm sure we'll come back to that again. But our scholarships, the only criteria, as Ms. Chun mentioned for Galen, is the same for the primary schools, is that you must be accepted into the school. Once you've accepted, that's it. Then we go to need. Then it's the poorest person in line.
The person who will benefit the most from it. So obviously we are here today because the scholarship applications are opening at this point in time. We
open our application forms we kick off the fundraising and the application process in February of every year. We have a website at the Ariel Rosado Foundation, arielfoundation.bz, where the forms are available and other information about the foundation is available as well.
And you also have your annual ride coming up very soon.
And I would like to get into that.
And that's a fundraising effort.
That's a fundraising effort we'll get into afterwards, and Galen is very involved with that. But I'd like to turn back to Mrs. Bencomo for a while. She was mentioning about her students, and I think she's been very modest about the students that she has managed. As I said, it's need, and One would think that because you're picking from the neediest, then you have the greatest challenge in getting performance. But that's not the case. And I need to mention one of Ms. Bencomo's students, Heidi Canales, who got a scholarship from us 2 years ago. She's now in third form at Palotti. She demonstrated great need and has in fact topped her class every year consistently, and we expect her to continue to do so. There's another student from Isabella Bank, one of the rural primary schools, who will be graduating this year, and she has applied to sit 15 CXCs,
Wow.
which is another accomplishment that we're proud of.
Will the foundation, the scholarship covers the cost of the CXC as well?
The government covers some of it, and
Yes.
we provide assistance for the
Okay.
others that they have.
I was telling Mr. Rosado that while we look at needy children, it just opens the opportunity for them to excel as well. Yes, they're in need, but because they got the scholarship when they're at high school, that's a boost for them. That gives them the encouragement for them to really excel at high school.
And I can only imagine the challenge that you face as a principal, seeing children who are very intelligent and very driven, but unable to meet the costs of education.
Yes.
So I suppose this is why you adapt this cause as well.
Yes, that's why, you know, I look out for, we didn't do any the previous year, not because we didn't have any, but as students would come, you know, their parents would come to me and they would be seeking out help. And so I'm looking forward to parents coming into my office and, you know, asking for our assistance for us to help them out to get their students into, get their children into high school through this scholarship.
So the scholarship application form, as you mentioned, is now available online. So they need to have an acceptance letter or proof of acceptance into whatever institution they want. That includes the Galen Scholarship?
Yes, that's right.
So people still need to go ahead and apply. And then apply for the scholarship after.
They
All
apply
right.
to the foundation, and there are 4 criteria, if I'm right. One, you must be accepted by in the case of high schools, you must be accepted by the high school you want to go to. You must get a letter of recommendation from the principal for your, demonstrating your need. You must apply for the government subsidy. Recently, that has not been a big deal because many don't get the subsidy this time nowadays. And I don't remember what the 4th is, or a statement, if you have one, of your income to
From your
verify.
parents,
Right.
All right, and then as you mentioned, the ride comes up in April. Will it be April?
Yes, that's
Okay.
April 16th. That's
Okay.
coming up. And because it's coming in from Cayo all the way to Belize City, it's only right that we start at Galen. So we start at our Central Farm campus.
Okay.
And the riders would get in, and then from there we will have a fun kickoff, get everyone amped up, and getting all the teams to join in, and then from there we head into the city where there would be multiple stops, and the second stop would be at our Belmopan campus, where you get refueled, water, maybe breakfast if you need, and of course from there then they head further into the city, and if I'm not mistaken the next stop would be at Cheers.
Okay.
Yes, and then from there at the Burrell Boom cutoff, and then from there you head into the city for the rest of the day to continue with the fun activities.
And it's a ride, not a race.
Yes, it's a ride. So all those people who might think, oh, I'm not that athletic person, we invite everyone to come out because it's at the end of the day, it's a fundraiser. And we hope that we could have more teams come out this year, and we have more individuals join, maybe from one village to another, that they're riding. You're riding for a purpose, you're riding for education, and of course for health, for your own benefit.
That's right.
There is a process for participating in a ride because there are expenses involved. We have an ambulance that comes with the thing. We have traffic escort from the police department and from the Ministry of Transport. There are 3 registration categories. You pay $25 for the basic package. That package offers you the protection of the ambulance, the police, the transport department, and you also get sandwiches, bananas, water, Gatorade. And at the end of the ride, which ends at our bar and grill at Newtown Barrack, you get a barbecue and the entertainment. That's far over and beyond $25. If you contribute $50, you get a commemorative T-shirt, and $100 you get a commemorative jersey. We also have pledge forms that we give out to riders who might want to go out and solicit funds from friends, $5 here, $5 there. And once they've reached their $25, they don't have to pay themselves. That is their fee at the 50 or the 100. And we're trying very hard this year to start organizing a prize for the person who raises the greatest amount of money from the pledge forms. But we do have pledge forms out, and if there's anybody who would be willing to assist us, we would like to ask them to call us, 600-6665 or 223-5674. Galen has been very, very good at that organizing ride from up there, because it's a lot of organization. We start at 4 o'clock, basically getting ready for the 6 o'clock. We have coffee, sometimes a little snack here and there, the sandwiches, and then there's a ceremony, and we lead off from Central Farm.
And speaking about the pledge forms and registration forms, if they can't get from the riders here in the city, we down at Galen at our campus will also have those forms available, so that students and anybody else from the public who wants to, then they could come in and then get signed up for the ride.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you for stopping in today and providing an update as to what's happening with the Ariel Rosado Foundation. Of course, people can, parents and students can be reminded that the application process is now open, and of course, for the riders and those who want to take a challenge, a physical challenge, if they're not regular riders, that ride comes up on April 16th, right?
So you two are challenged.
We look forward to
It's a Saturday?
It's a Saturday, and it's very important to mention, you can jump in anywhere you want.
At any point,
If you want to jump in at Halover Bridge, that's fine. Palo Alto Junction, that's fine. But the regular places would be to join us in Belmopan. If you don't want the challenge of the hills, join us at Cheers or at Boom and come in with us.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We're going to go ahead and take our final break, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap-up, so stay tuned.